let's say that you had a scenario where you have 3 projects running, and you have like a project where you want to use it sort of as a like a repository or something that just holds all the people that have enrolled in your 3 other projects. Give me 1 second here. Okay. So basically, when you add a record or some information to one project, you might like to copy it to a second project. So this is called copy data on save. So I created 2 projects, and in one I have like a demographics form and then some questions that you might want to ask. And then in the other one, I just have a demographics form. So let's say every time I create a new record in this project, I want to create the same demographics and reproduce that information in the second project. So there are a number of ways to use this feature. I'll go to my external module and we can see, there we are, copy data and save. If you look at the documentation, it's pretty good. There's some information about the configuration I'll show you. And there's an example here about how they use it. So I'll just kind of walk you through this. So I only need to configure this on the project that is going to be used for pushing the data over to the second project. So this second project is just, got one form, and it's going to be a repository for data that's being pushed over from the first project. All right. So I come in here and I configure this. So first is whether you want to enable it or not, which allows you to work with it without it doing anything. If you turn it off, now it's not enabled. It's not going to run. If you click on it, now it will run. So then you kind of walk through this configuration. So the first thing is which form is going to trigger the push of the data over to a different project. And so it's from my demographics instrument. And I'm just going to leave this empty because I want to be very basic and let you see how this works so we don't get into real complex configurations. So I'm going to leave this blank, but my destination project is key. So when you use the drop-down, you will see all the projects that you have ever created. So it's good if you know the project ID. It will help you to find the project that you're looking for. It's not like it shows every project that anyone has ever done. It still filters for only your projects. So you find the project you want to use, which is 11842. If you look over here, you'll see this is 11842, right? So I put that in. Now I'm going to go through here, and the destination event is an optional. I don't have events in here. It's not longitudinal, so I don't need to fill this out. Field containing the record ID. So I just grabbed the record ID from this particular project because I didn't rename it anything. So it will match the record ID in this project with the record ID in the source. I'm sorry. So this is the variable name in the destination project. And it says that clearly. I apologize. This is for the destination project, and this will match against the record ID in my current project. So my project one will now match, will send its record ID over to this field in the destination project. All right, you come down here, and then there's a data access group option. So this is something I missed the first time around because I don't have data access groups. I thought I don't really need to do this, even though, and I really was in a hurry and I missed this must provide value. But so don't get thrown off by the fact that you don't have data access groups and you have to provide a value, because if you look, it says you can ignore the data access group, and you can, there's multiple configurations here that will work for you if you use data access groups, with a little explanation here, but I'm not using them. Very basic. So I just am saying ignore them. Then it asks about data access group mapping. You do not have to fill this in if you do not have data access groups. So I'm leaving this blank. From then on, it's pretty intuitive. What field do you want to use in your source project, which is my current project here? And what do you want to populate in the destination? So I've got, this is a drop down of all the fields that are in my current project here. I'm going to have to put in the field name, which is the variable in the destination project. So because I just copied these and they're the same, the demographics form in both projects, it's easy. I'm just copying it to the first name field in the destination project. And I went through there here and just did that for all of these. The one thing the two things I want to point out, there are two calculated fields in here. There's an age and a BMI. Both are calculated fields in the source project and the destination project. There is no need to push calculated field from a source project into a destination project. The calculated field will still run or can be run in the destination project, whether you use the data quality tool or not. And then the last thing is just to make sure that you stay in sync. You probably want to map the demographics complete, which is an actual saying that your demographics form is complete. Map that complete to demographics complete in your destination project. All right, so having said all that, I'll save that configuration and I'll come and create a new record in here. And we'll say, okay, so I've completed all of this. I'm going to save and exit my form. So this is my source project. I filled out all this demographics. So if I go to my second project, I should see 2 records there. If I look here, here's my second, my record. And actually, I need to tweak this and get rid of this study ID because that's not in this. But if I look at my record status dashboard, I see that I have a complete record with all of this information. So I can just save and exit this, and I've got my record for record 2 that's copied from my source project. So any questions about copy and save? There's probably a number of different ways that you might use this, but it will be a great tool if you want to add things from one project to another.